Welcome back to AI Advantage for Small Business, practical AI strategies for real small businesses. I'm Duarte, and today we're doing something very weekend ready. Picture this, a neighborhood bakery, 5 quick chats with customers over one Saturday, a short human-approved write-up, 1 test product the next week, and it's sold out. That little story is exactly what we want you to be able to run in one weekend. Okay, let's walk through the full playbook.
I love that. Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. If you run operations at a cafe, studio, or retail spot, this episode is built for you. We'll keep it practical. What to pack, who to ask, exact consent language you can use, a 10-question script, how to sanitize and use AI safely, and a 1-page synthesis you can act on Monday. No fluff.
Quick overview of the promise. 5 short customer interviews over a single weekend, conservative AI to cluster themes, a required human edit gate, and 1 validated low-risk pilot you can run the following week. Guests today, Emily, a bakery owner who ran the lab last month and actually sold out, and Marcus, a practitioner who helps small teams run privacy-safe interviews and syntheses. Emily, tell us in 1 sentence what happened after your 5 chats.
Sure. Thanks, Duarte. After 5 4-minute conversations, we learned people wanted a midday snack that wasn't heavy, something to pair with coffee. We tested 1 small item the next week, offered it as a sampler, and it sold out by lunch on day 2. It was fast, cheap, and didn't disrupt service.
Perfect. Let's dive into topic 1, recruit, consent, and signals. Sarah, start us off. Who should you invite? And how do you avoid bias like only talking to friends or the same regulars?
Recruitment needs rules. Use an in-store invite that asks for anyone who bought something in the past 2 weeks, plus 2 passersby, and a small social post asking for volunteers. Keep a simple log that records respondent type, recent customer, passerby, online responder, and stop if one type dominates. Offer a small perk, a $5 coupon or a free pastry. That avoids the unpaid work problem and keeps staff time limited.
And consent. Say this exact line if you want something tested in your shop right away. Hi, I'm doing a very short 4-minute customer interview to improve what we offer. We won't collect your name or contact details. You can stop any time. May I ask a few questions? That covers consent and makes it clear you're not taking PII.
I'll add, record a single metadata tag for each respondent, type and time. Then immediately redact anything identifying before any transcript leaves the device. Minimal signals to capture, context, where they were when they bought, the need, what problem they solved, frequency, how often they want this, and willingness to pay, ballpark. Those 4 signals give you the core behaviors without names or sensitive details.
Great. Topic 2, interview script and a live role play. We promised a 10-question script that avoids PII and focuses on behavior. Here it is, short and direct. 1, what brought you in today? 2, tell me about the last time you bought something like this. 3, what problem were you solving? 4, how often would you want a solution for that need? 5, where do you usually get this product now? 6, what do you like about your current option? 7, what do you dislike or what's missing? 8, if we offered a new option, what would make you try it? 9, how much would you expect to pay for a small portion sample? 10, would you be willing to try it next week at a discount? That's it. No names, no demographics, just behavior and trade-offs.
A quick human edit rule. Avoid leading phrasing. Don't ask, would you buy this? When the product isn't defined. Instead, ask about the behavior that would lead someone to buy. Also, keep answers short. If someone gives a long story, follow up with, what did that cost you in time or money, to pull out the trade-off.
All right, time for a short live demo. Emily, you'll play the customer and I'll ask. Remember, 4 minutes, no names, focus on behavior. Ready?
Ready.
Hi, I'm doing a very short 4-minute interview to improve what we offer. We won't collect your name or contact details. You can stop any time. May I ask a few questions?
Sure, that's fine.
First, what brought you in today?
I needed a quick thing with my coffee, something not too heavy between lunch and dinner.
Tell me about the last time you bought something like that. Where were you coming from and what did you choose?
I was at work. I grabbed a muffin from a shop a few blocks away because it was quick. I didn't want anything messy to eat at my desk.
How often would you want a solution like that?
Maybe 2 to 3 times a week on busy days.
Great. Last one. Would you be willing to try a smaller sampler if we offered a discount next week?
Yes, I probably would, if it's quick and pairs with the coffee. That was a clean 4-minute exchange, very usable. Note how Duarte stayed neutral and asked about actual past behavior, not hypotheticals. That reduces courtesy bias and leads to clearer signals.
Topic 3. Privacy-safe AI synthesis and prioritization. Marcus, walk us through the redaction steps and a conservative prompt pattern we can trust.
Start on device. Transcribe interviews locally if possible. Immediately run a redaction script that replaces names, locations, and unique identifiers with neutral tags like customer, store nearby. Keep the metadata tags we discussed, type and time. Only after redaction do you send text to an external model, and even then, use conservative prompts that ask the model to cluster themes and return candidate hypotheses, not final decisions. Example prompt. Given these redacted snippets, cluster reoccurring customer needs and list 3 supporting anonymized quotes per cluster. Do not suggest operational changes. Return clusters only. Then require a manager to read and annotate each cluster before any pilot is formed. We also recommend a 1-page synthesis template, header with sample metadata, 3 top themes with a short headline each, 2 anonymized supporting snippets per theme, 1 hypothesis per theme, and an impact effort score, high, medium, low. The manager must initial the page before anything moves to pilot.
Let's do the panel practicals. We have 3 short redacted snippets from Emily's weekend interviews. Marcus, read them in cluster aloud. Sarah and Emily, react. Snippet 1. I grabbed something quick between meetings. I don't want to make a mess. Snippet 2. I would buy it if it was small and not too sweet. Snippet 3. I don't always have time to go out at lunch. A grab-and-go option would be helpful. Marcus, what do you see?
Convenience. Grab and go between meetings. Cluster B. Product fit. Small, not too sweet. Cluster C. Timing. Midday demand. Each cluster has supporting snippets already. My conservative read, these point to a single hypothesis. There is demand for a low-sugar, small sampler marketed for midday paired with coffee. Impact looks medium to high because it meets existing foot traffic. Effort is low to medium if we adjust portioning and pricing. That matches what we heard. So our pilot hypothesis could be offer a 2-bite savory sampler at $2 with coffee pairing next Wednesday, Friday, and track sell-through and repeat buys. We can prep 3 dozen, mark them clearly, and ask staff to record which time block sells best. Turn that into a 72-hour test plan. Day 0, prep recipe and pricing, print small signage, train 1 staff champion. Day 1 through 3, offer sampler at a set time window, track units sold and any customer comments on a 1-line form. At the end of day 3, use the 1-page synthesis template to score impact and effort and decide go, no-go. Time box everything. 5 interviews plus 1-hour synthesis keeps staff load manageable.
Before we wrap, a few final practicals and safeguards. Pay participants or give a small perk. Keep interviews strictly to 4 minutes, and assign 1 paid staff champion for the weekend, so it's not unpaid extra work. Always require the manager's sign-off before sending any transcript off-site, and if your sample skews to friends or staff, pause and recruit differently.
One last tip from the shop floor. Make the ask simple. Would you like to try something new next week? And have a visible sign with the consent language so staff can invite people without a long explanation.
Wrap-up time. We've given you the exact consent script, a 10-question interview script, a redaction-first workflow, a cautious prompt pattern, and a 1-page synthesis format that requires human edit. If you want everything in one place, download the interview pack, redaction scripts, synthesis template, and weekend checklist from our website.
And a quick cliffhang. Next episode, we'll show how one validated insight from a weekend lab can become a recurring revenue mechanic. We'll take Emily's sellout test and walk through pricing, subscription or repeat offer mechanics, and the exact copy that turned trials into repeat customers.
Thanks to Emily and Marcus for joining today, and to you listeners. Visit our site to grab the toolkit and run your own weekend lab. Use AI to support people, not replace them. Okay, see you next time.